Good morning. Hey, it's Valerie here. Greetings from a somewhat sunny day in Sydney. I've been up already with my rapid resetters and my resource me 2020 folk. These are two programs that I've been running, and one of the things that we are observing is how much of the work we've been doing together in the burnout space is really becoming relevant as the world tilts on its axis, as people have to try to figure out new ways of doing things, working from home, and picking up the stress of adjustment and change. And one of the core values for the Center for Effective Living, which is the private practice that I own, is generosity. Generosity. But one of my core values as a person, as a human being, is to problem solve and innovate. Innovate. And this morning, with the Rapid Resetters, that's the 5-day reset program that I'm running at the moment, we were looking at restoring purpose. And we chatted about how, in this time, purpose gets reshaped or gets really crystallized and really clarified. There are a set of questions that we talk about, or a set of concentric circles that we work around when we're trying to find purpose. And one of those concentric circles is, what are the needs that you're drawn to, the people on your heart? Where do you find yourself being pulled to? Where does your mind instantly go to? And it helps us to clarify, really, for us, where our purpose tank is. And as things are unfolding on a daily, weekly basis, I'm getting really clarified to the three people, or the three people groups that are really on my heart. And so I want to say that as part of the conjoint values that come together, generosity and problem solve and innovate, for the three people groups on my heart, I am planning on putting out not just a resource, but an interaction with these three people groups. And looking forward to actually penning down my thoughts, putting it on a post, and welcoming your input. Who are these three people groups? First of all, they are, of course, my tribe, my two tribes. Well, actually, they're all three tribes, come to think of it. I do apologize about the nose. Three tribes that I run with, that I want to see running with me still, that I want to see on the other side of COVID-19 with me, the three tribes on my mind whom I want to bring along on this journey with. Number one, the tribe of healthcare professionals. You have been on my mind. You have been on my mind. I do not want you to succumb. I do not want you to get to the point of traumatic moral injury, physical exhaustion from what is coming at you. So the first group of people that I intend to put out the feelers to connect with and pass on content to, it will either be free or it will be pay what you want and we will donate the proceeds. The practice has already decided that that's what we're doing with the content that the practice is going to put out. So there is two spheres that I sit in. One is the Center for Effective Living, which is the team of healthcare professionals, and we are meeting tomorrow to talk about how we can pay it forward into our community with the resources we are going to create. And the general thought there for what I've come up with is we are just going to invite people into accessing resources for themselves during this time. And we are likely then going to say, pay what you want to come into that, and we will donate those funds into an identified space. That's to come. Dr. Burnout, which is my sphere, similarly, either we will go with the free option for you guys, or we will say pay what you will, and I will consider where we will donate that to. But so the first people group on my mind are going to be the healthcare professionals. How are you actually going to keep your mind, body, and heart intact during this time? Structural integrity. That's my Star Trek fandom coming there. How do we maintain structural integrity? Okay, so structural integrity is this concept that when you go through high velocity or you go through warp holes or wormholes, wormholes they are, right, where the environment around you is so warped and so intense that what you were built for gets threatened to fall apart, right? So structural integrity is such an important concept in Star Trek, because if you break apart when you go through high intensity environments, well then you lose it. So how can we help our healthcare professionals maintain structural integrity during this time? So that's the first tribe that has been on my heart and on my mind. The second tribe of people that I run with are parents, right? How can we help parents to maintain structural integrity as we are navigating all the massive changes? There are some jokes about how we're actually going to maintain our relationships, because when we're all living together, as kids aren't going to school and as family members are staying home, how do you actually maintain a sense of balance and perspective, when you're not going out now? Funnily enough, we've probably been doing this type of work for years, because we support cross-cultural workers who are in severe environments, whether it's in Pakistan or Afghanistan or China, where there are significant political pressures as well, and people can't actually go out and access self-care activities or even connect with people. So how do we do that? And I go through a bit of an ecosystem thinking. So how can parents maintain structural integrity? And the third people on my mind are the people who are needing to make immediate adjustments to working from home, right? This is also my tribe, because, for the longest time I sit in this room and I do all this work, all this kind of stuff. Do I sit with my pajamas on the bottom? Do I wear slippers? I mean, this is the kind of stuff that people think when they say, oh, you work from home. Like, so do you come online and sit in your undies? Well, it's a little bit more complex than that. How do you actually partition rest and work? How do you actually know when you're being productive and not being productive? How do you fight guilt, boredom, distraction? How do you actually work remotely? And for the longest time, Center for Effective Living actually ran remotely. So our team is one part real and one part remote. And I actually just pulled the plug today, right this very morning, on flying down Kathy, who's in Brisbane, who works with us for her own safety and really for her family not to have to worry. But that's like a major connection loss. Like, this is something that we try to, well, I love having Kathy come down, once or twice a year, because that just makes her a real human being in the room and we connect. So how can we support the mental health and the adjustment, stress and anxiety of people who are going from working in an office suddenly to working remotely? And Australians, we're a culture of mateship, the great outdoors. This is going to have significant impacts on us. So here are the three tribes on my mind. I'm having a day off today, right after I switch off, to switch my brain into another mode and go and have a creative experience. And stay tuned for further information that will be coming your way.